Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday live stream. Lukewarm mining, more giveaways. We're gonna comment down with the giveaway. I mean, we could do one, but I had some people complain yesterday that we were just doing too much giveaways yesterday and not enough talking. Not enough topics, so we're gonna hold off on the giveaways here for a bit. We'll do more next. We'll do more next week. Cooking mailman. Oof, the price drop. Oh yeah, Bitcoin dropped a little bit. 68k now. 69. Nice. Smoky Dan, do 5. Holy Electric. Good morning, good sir. This is a pirate. You missed out. Max Voltage. Top chat. Max, thank you, Max, thank you. All right, so I got a real good topic for today. I think everyone loves this topic is Bitcoin and how difficult it is to mine. So I think it's very important that every Bitcoin miner out there should be paying attention, because this is something that is, paramount for a lot of people who have been into Bitcoin mining. And it's just over the past, I don't know, 7 years, Bitcoin difficulty has gone up from 5T to 144T. We're at 133 now. But this one metric, you can say this is like a metric, right? A metric. This metric alone can really decide whether you're making money or you're going to be slowly bleeding out. So that's how I'm going to talk about this topic today. And we just had a difficulty adjustment, right? We just had one literally yesterday. We went down from 144 to 133, right? So I want to break it down here to the basic and just explain how this affects everything. And people always are saying oh, we should solo mine now. I mean, in theory, yes, but I mean it's extremely it hasn't really gone down that much to where I would recommend someone, oh yeah, go out and buy solo miners right now. No. I think we're kind of hitting that point where solo mining with anything substantial is a lost cause. And if we calculated about 2,400 solo blocks in the next 114 years are going to be played out, well, chances are you're not going to hit a solo block. I'm not going to hit a solo block. You're not going to hit a solo block. Somebody else might hit a solo block, but less than about 2,400 people in the next 114 years until the last Bitcoin block is mined is going to hit a block. But anyways, we're not, besides the point. Okay, so good morning, bros. Welcome. Bitcoin is easy to mine. It just requires patience because of the difficulty. That's what people don't realize. Patience pays. GNV BND 13. Time. All you need is time. I think the fundamental aspect about investing is time. And the longer you invest, the longer you hold into any type of asset, I think it's just long term. If your time horizon is 5-10 years, you're going to see it. You're going to see price appreciation on the asset that you're investing in. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. We're going to have ebbs and flows. We're going to have market cycles. We're going to have Bitcoin going down 50%, 70% down from all-time highs. It's just time. I know if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're gonna have the short-term thinking because you need that money right away. But for majority of people who are in this right now, as long as you are, thinking long-term, time is on your side. And so if you're holding something like Bitcoin, you're holding something like Ethereum, XRP, God forbid, you know, this stuff is eventually going to go back up. You know, it's just time. Honestly, it's just time. And if you have the time and, you know, you don't have the short-term thinking, and short-term, you know, selling, as long as you can hold and wait till times get better, you know, that's it. That's truly it. That it's just, this is all time. It's time-based investing, honestly. Long-term investing. That's it. But anyways, back to difficulty. Thank you for that remark. I'm gonna hit a solo block. Good luck. RPM sounds like Doomer talk to me. It is. Honestly, I think we have too many people solo mining now. There's too many. There's already too many people. There's too many. There's way too many. Fully electric. In less than 10 years, BTC block will only be 0.78. You're right. Not enough to support even the current hash rate of BTC. Don't 4x and remain high. Fully electric, 100%. If Bitcoin market cap for Bitcoin right now is 1.37 trillion, 1.37 trillion. Yeah, if it doesn't go up to 5 trillion, 6 trillion in the next 10 years, that's yeah, Bitcoin mining is going to be rough. Yeah, the next Bitcoin, the next halving for Bitcoin is in 2 years. So, yeah, that'll be, if the price doesn't, yeah, 2x at least, 4x, yeah, you're right, fully electric, you're right. I think it will. It eventually will. Bitcoin is always up and to the right. So, I mean, long term, where's the log view on this thing? Price trading view. Okay, I don't know how to change it here. Anyways, it's just constantly going up. But anyways, back to the difficulty. So, okay, the Bitcoin difficulty, the main how do I say it? What does it mean? The Bitcoin difficulty is like, how hard is it to find a block? That's it. That's honestly it. It's like, how hard is it to find a block for Bitcoin? And you're gonna need to hit this. You're gonna need to hit 133.7 over 133.79 T on your Bitcoin miner. Okay, that's how I understand it. It's how hard is it to how hard it is to find a block, to find a Bitcoin block. The difficulty is over this number, and if it's under, if it keeps going lower, it'll be technically easier in a sense. But I mean, if you zoom out over the past 7 years, it's Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin difficulty has gone up tenfold, 14x, honestly, more than 14x over the past 7 years. If you do it by 5T, it's gone up like 28 times. So it's definitely, if you zoom out in that regard and say, you know, Bitcoin mining has gotten a lot more difficult, yes. In this regard, yes. Short term, people saying, oh, it's a good time to solo mine Bitcoin now. Oh, that's because they're looking at the past 4 or 5 months, because the high for Bitcoin difficulty back then was 155 5 months ago. 155 T. And here we are, we're at 133 T. So it's, yes, in a sense, since November 2025, it is technically a good time to mine Bitcoin in a sense. Or people saying solo mine Bitcoin because the difficulty is down, your chances are higher, etc., etc. I don't think of it that way, because if you zoom out over the past 5 years, the difficulty has climbed like 10x or more than that. Anyways, so the Bitcoin difficulty, from what I understand, adjusts every 2016 blocks. Okay, 2016 Bitcoin blocks is the difficulty adjustment. Okay, this happens roughly every 2 weeks, and network adjusts this automatically. Right, it's baked into the Bitcoin code that every 2016 blocks it will have a big difficulty adjustment. Okay, so miners are finding blocks. You know, if the miners are finding blocks too fast, okay, the average block time for Bitcoin is supposed to be 10 minutes. This is the target. This is the target time for Bitcoin. All right. So if blocks are being found too fast, which is kind of what's happening now, all right, 9.78 minutes average, difficulty will go back up. Okay. If it's too slow, if this time here is over, if this time for Bitcoin blocks is over 10 minutes, that means they're too slow. Like say it's 10 minutes and 30 second min average, it will then go back down. You guys understand? So right now the difficulty is finding blocks are too fast right now. So difficulty is going to go back up. It's projected to go back up because block times hash rate has climbed. Hash rate has added on since the difficulty drop of when it was like 893 exahash. Now it's gone up another 100 exahash. So it's the difficulty adjustment. Next one that's coming up in about 11 days, 22 hours, all right, or in about 1,757 blocks as of now. It's going to go up about 2.21%. It's probably going to go up. It's probably going to go up more because what's happening is everyone piled in, right? This is what happens, right? Hash rate piles in because when the blocks are being found faster, technically the profitability is actually better, but it's only going to happen for a short time. So it's just this like yin and yang, you know. There are big mining entities out there that are playing this game. All right, you guys understand? There are mining farms that play this game, right? And like, there's some that like turn off just to adjust the Bitcoin difficulty down further, and then when it flips, when it switches, difficulty adjustment happens, they turn back on and they take advantage. Whether or not it's like solo mining, like I know plenty of people who rent out hash rate right when the difficulty adjustment happens, so that because the block times are going to be way faster, okay, in a sense, because the difficulty drops, then there's going to be this massive pile on of hash rate and people solo mining to get the block. You know, it's just hilarious, right? It's hilarious. That's just what I've been seeing. So anyways, it's a great time. Yeah, it's an interesting time right now for Bitcoin mining. We pretty much hit this, like, I'm gonna say, like, we're pretty much hitting up equilibrium here, because Bitcoin mining at any large scale at like 8 cents or 9 cents, you're pretty much breaking even or losing money depending on the miners that you have. So if you don't have efficient Bitcoin miners right now, like let's say sub S21XP or S21s and below, you're hard pressed to be profitable at it at any reasonable electrical rate. Even for home miners, even home residential miners, you're not profitable at all mining Bitcoin at $68,000 Bitcoin, right? You're spending more on electricity than you are mining, okay, Bitcoin at this point in time. So if you cared about that in that regard, you're technically losing money because you're spending more on electricity than you are. You might as well just buy Bitcoin at that point, unless you're and I hate this as an excuse. I honestly hate this. This is just, I hate saying it, but like, okay, the utility of a lot of these Bitcoin miners is that they provide heat. For some reason, I hate saying that. Why do I hate saying that? Why? I feel like it's just an excuse. You guys feel me? Like, it's just an excuse for someone to say, oh yeah, go out and buy this, Avalon Q or Mini 3. Instead of using a heater, it provides you, instead of using a baseboard heater or a gas oil heater, you can use an Avalon Q as a heater instead. Doesn't it happen? For some reason, I hate saying that. I don't know. It irks me. Does that? Am I not the only person saying that? Am I the only person that feels that way? Like, I don't know. It's like a cop out to me. That excuse to saying these miners, it's just to also instead of you losing money, it provides you heat. It's like the money you would be spending on a baseboard heater anyway, you might as well just get a Bitcoin heater and mine that way. I feel like it's a gimmick. It's a yeah. There you go. Heat is a marketing gimmick. Exactly. And I hate saying it. I think it's a cop out. It's such a fake thing to say, even though I believe it's true. Okay, it's definitely true in some cases, right? Depending where you live, but majority of the time, I think it's just I feel like it's just an easy cop out, but it makes sense for some people in some areas, not everywhere, but for some people. Okay, and I just don't want it to be such a like Retro Mike says, like an easy gimmick. Exactly. I don't want it to be such an easy thing to say. Oh yeah, just buy a Bitcoin miner, use it for heat while you're losing money on electricity on it, while you're mining at home at 15 cents electric. It's just like, okay. The only thing you can get out of it is heat while you're losing a couple bucks a day against your 15 cents electric. Anyways, that's enough about that. I'm not saying that it's wrong to use these for heat. I think it's great. I just think the excuse of it is kind of a cop out at this point in time. Anyways, back to Bitcoin difficulty. All right, so the difficulty, it doesn't move randomly, right? It moves because of the hash rate. All right, as the hash rate either goes up or down, the block times will change faster or slower. Bitcoin difficulty adjustment is going to go higher or lower, right? That's what it's basing it out of. So what have we seen lately? What have we seen lately? Well, massive hash rate growth. If you look over the past 7-8 years, Bitcoin's hash rate has grown substantially, exponentially from I'm gonna say like a good 28x since 2018. I don't know, 2018 or something. It's grown so much. So it means, what does that mean? It means more competition. There's been more competition, right? And that means each of us who are Bitcoin mining are getting smaller slice of the pie. Okay, so we're getting less and less Bitcoin as more and more people have been piling in, whether you're mining at scale, trying to, pool mine on little miners, you're getting less and less Bitcoin because over the past 6-8 years, it has climbed exponentially. Now we've come to this point where Bitcoin is at 68, 70K. Miners, majority of home miners, actually all home miners above, let's say 8 or 9 cents. If you don't have an S21 XP and below, you're pretty much not making anything right now. I mean, even so, an S21 XP is only making at 9 cents electric. Let's see, about not even a buck a day at 9 cents. So it's not even anything substantial. It's nothing substantial at all. Which, we all understand, right? The whole thing about mining, especially if you're doing it at a hobby scale, mining and holding Bitcoin at a small scale. I think we've come to this inflection point now where I truly believe, if you believe that Bitcoin's going to go up further in the future, I don't think buying the miners now would be, unless you have 5 or 6 or below 5 cents, honestly. Before solar or free power, if you have 5 cents or 6 cents below, I think mining Bitcoin at scale is great. But now, at where Bitcoin is now, it doesn't make sense. You might as well just buy Bitcoin. You will have more Bitcoin now versus mining it, because also factoring in Bitcoin's halving is going to be happening in Bitcoin halving is going to be happening in 2 years. Okay, in about 2 years. So this is going to be it's going to be even more competitive. And if Bitcoin's price doesn't, at least exactly what Fully Electric said, at least if Bitcoin's price doesn't do a 4x, there's no way we're going to keep up with this hash rate on the network. There's no way that this amount of hash rate on the network is going to keep up when Bitcoin's block reward decreases. The halving in 751 days is going to bring it down from 3.125 to 1.56 Bitcoin per block. That's going to severely cut the emissions of Bitcoin down in half. Could you imagine we had a halving? Imagine we had a halving right now. Imagine we have over almost a zettahash of Bitcoin hash rate. It was like that, 5 months ago. We had 1.1 zettahash. Imagine we had the halving right now. Everything you see on this list, every single Bitcoin miner, even at like 6 cents, maybe not 6 cents, maybe 8 cents, 7 cents, everything on this list would be unprofitable. Every single Bitcoin miner on this list would be in the negative. it would be a massive bloodbath if we saw let's see here, at 7 cents. Even the best Bitcoin miner, the S23 Hydro on ASIC miner value, makes $37 a day now. If we had a halving, it would be break even would be about 7 cents. If 7 cents for all the Bitcoin miners, we had the halving right now, all of these miners would be breaking even or losing. Everything below the S23 Hydro would be losing money at 7 cents. That's going to be happening in about 751 days. If Bitcoin's price doesn't go up from here, all right, in the next 2 years, next halving, it's going to be a bloodbath. There will be massive amounts of hash rate that will turn off. Do I believe Bitcoin is going to be higher than 68K in 2 years? I hope so. It better. If we don't see Bitcoin over, 200K in 2 years before the halving, it's going to be rough. I'm telling you, it's going to be real rough. It'll be, I honestly, in my heart, I kind of want it to happen. I kind of want Bitcoin to not be, I want Bitcoin to be low. Like, let's just say 80K. Halving comes, all the Bitcoin miners are unprofitable. massive amount of farms are just unprofitable. They're all going to turn off. We're going to go down to like 500 exahash. Everyone turns off. Dude, I would love that. Dude, bring it. Oh, dude. Dude, I would love it. Honestly, dude, I want... Dude, could you imagine? Could you guys imagine the bloodbath that we would have? The halving comes in 751 days. Bitcoin's price is not even 100K. Could you imagine like 500 exahash turning off the network? Bro, that would be wild. That would be so wild. That would be so wild. And it's like, oh, everyone's selling miners for like $100 or not even $100. Like S21 XP would be like a couple $100 or S23s would be a couple $100. In 2 years, it's going to be S23. That would be like the S23 will probably be the new floor. No, sorry. The S21 XP would be the next floor. Right? It's like, yeah. That would be wild. That would be so wild if that happened in 2 years. I guess we'll find out. I mean, of course, we all believe Bitcoin's gonna go to higher highs. I'm sure, right? After all this negative stuff happening in the markets, I'm sure Bitcoin will. Bitcoin will flip. So, anyways, let's see here. I wanted to keep continuing on here. So we all know that we're getting less of the pie right now. We're definitely getting less of the pie. I mean, we're getting a little bit better, the amount of Bitcoin right now, but I mean, because the hash rate has fallen a bit, but it's kind of going back up again. That's the yin and yang with the Bitcoin difficulty. And a lot of people taking advantage of that, as well. But here's the the profitability part of regarding the difficulty adjustment. So even if Bitcoin's price stays the same and the difficulty goes back up, right? We're all going to be losing less. We're going to be earning less Bitcoin. And you know, your power costs is paramount, right? If your power cost is high, that's where things get, you know, real bad, right? Of course, anyone at 15 cents electric on average, if you had 15 cents electric, even on an S23, you're losing a couple bucks a day, right? So right now, residential mining, you're not making anything at all. Even the best Bitcoin miner, the S23 Hydro at 15 cents electric, you're losing money. The best Bitcoin miner, the most efficient 9.5 joules per terahash model, you're losing at 15 cents electric. So no residential miner is making anything substantial Bitcoin mining right now. But anyone that has, this is where it becomes a game of efficiency, is those people that have 5 cents. Right? People that have 5 cents, 6 cents electric, solar, free power on a smaller scale. I'm talking more so bigger scale people. The game of efficiency is paramount. If you don't have the latest and greatest at these levels, you're not going to be making much, right? And this is where bigger farms are already, I think I just saw bigger farms are already liquidating their S21 XPs because they're getting the new S23s in. Even though it's marginal, you know, efficiency increase, which is happening, you know, with Bitcoin miners, as you guys know, it jumps in increments of like 1 or 2 joules per terahash. The efficiency gains on these models are like marginal, very small, right? The increase that Bitmain, it's like Nvidia and AMD, you know, they release a new generation of GPU every year, and the performance gain that you see out of them, it's like 10%, 15%. You know, the marginal increase of performance gain, you know, they do this because they do that to control the market, make money every year, always release the next generation miner in a little increment of, oh yeah, 1 or 2 joules per terahash better than the previous Bitcoin miner. This is what Bitmain does. This is what the ASIC manufacturers do. Okay, this is normal. This is in the Bitcoin mining realm, GPU mining realm, anything, Apple, iPhones, MacBooks, very incremental increase in performance. They do this every year, right? This is not new, okay? In the manufacturing, new models, ASICs, whatever realm, hardware realm, we see the marginal increase in efficiency in these models. But what happens is that obviously if you have older ASIC models, anything like inefficient, you're gonna start seeing that ASIC model being pushed out and become unprofitable, and because of the efficiency that these things have. So, you know, even miners from 2 years ago, you know, Avalon A15 XP, even at 6 cents, they're only making $1 something a day. So you can see, like, from 17 to 18 joules per terahash, the efficiency gain that we're seeing now on a lot of these Bitcoin miners, it's, you know, it's getting rough, right? Because the competition is becoming much more difficult. That's why you see these larger players now saying, "Oh, we're gonna tone down our Bitcoin mining expansions now." People are now going towards AI. They said they're like pivoting to AI and all this crap. So, you know, I think that it's good that bigger farms are now doing that pivot, and they're not expanding in Bitcoin mining anymore. They said they're getting out of it. They're going more data center. I think that's great. I think that's great for the smaller guy. But there are still tons of people who are going to be expanding into Bitcoin mining because they have access to cheap power. I don't think that's ever going to end. That's going to continue. That's going to continue to go up, right? So yeah, if you're running older ASICs now, or you have expensive electricity, your margins are literally gone. You have no margin at all. You're losing. You're losing money. So. Fully electric S2029 S27 1 petahash 3200 watts. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people right now are probably mining at a break even or even at a loss. You know, even for me, I've had to think about machines. I have machines, you know, do I think that they're worth running right now? You know, no. Like I'm at even if I'm at like 74 cents right now, I have a few miners that I have, like even S19s, S19Ks. You know, they're just not worth it anymore. And so yeah, it's definitely rough. It's definitely rough if you don't have cheaper electric. So okay, so we understand that mining, right? Like we zoom out, right, just for a second, right? Mining today is not what it was like 5 years ago, right? It's obviously climbed just massive since then. You've got massive farms, farms with better efficiency. They're always upgrading. They have cheaper power, and I'd say like the barrier to entry, to just being profitable in Bitcoin mining is obviously getting higher, or it's just getting worse and worse in a sense because of how difficult Bitcoin mining has gotten. So if you're mining today, you're pretty much competing against the operations, the people that have sub 3-4 cents electric, and are continuing. Some of them are continuing to expand. Some of them are not. Again, depending on all their electric costs, expenses, and everything. So obviously there is some play. There are some strategies here. Okay, this is where now I'm going to talk about. We got 179 people here, 41 likes. Smash the like, bros. Smash the like, bros. So there are some strategies here, which I think we're all privy to here, and it's called arbitrage, hardware arbitrage. So even where Bitcoin's hash rate is right now, I'm just gonna say over a zettahash. We were over a zettahash. We probably will be over a zettahash soon here again. There are people out there who play the hardware arbitrage game. So there are people who are buying the miners en masse, you know, older miners, let's say M60s, M63s, S21s, S21 Pros, S21 Pluses, S21s, you know, heck, I even bought an S21 the other day, last week for $450. So like, you know, there are some plays you could do. And then if you believe that the market can flip in the next year or two, or even sooner, this is where it becomes, okay, if Bitcoin was 120K right now, Bitcoin mining would be still okay. As of now, also considering Bitcoin halving in 751 days. So there are people out there who are doing this type of, you know, hardware arbitrage to sell the miners for more if Bitcoin, you know, decides to go to new all-time highs. So I believe that I like the hardware arbitrage game. I think that's a great way to try to make money if some people are trying to do it in the, you know, as a business to make money. Buying miners when they're cheaper, obviously, and believing that the market's going to flip in the next while is a great way to make money. But the problem is that you're obviously not going to be mining with that hardware. You're just holding the hardware in hopes that it's going to flip one day and, you know, the market's gonna do better, and then you can sell the miner, the S21 that you just bought. You could sell it for a lot more, right? So I think there's plenty of different strategies out there. I think, okay, now I think on a hobby scale, smaller miner at home, you know, has a small solar system, maybe a little bit of free power in their condo. They're just gonna turn on a little nerd octax. All right, they're gonna turn on a little tiny 10 terahash miner, and they got like technically maybe free power, and they're, you know, they don't have much power infrastructure. They can't run a lot. You know, they're gonna run this 240 watt miner. Sure, 12 terahash. Pool mining, you're earning about 40 cents a day. Nothing substantial. Maybe in a year you'll mine about $145 worth. Are you gonna ROI on your $700-$600 octax in a year? Definitely not. Though if you're just mining and holding the Bitcoin, sure, you know, this could be $300 instead if Bitcoin went up double time and you're just mining and yielding. Sure, in that regard, you hold it for the next couple of years, your time horizons 5 years, 10 years. If you look at it that way, you're gonna make money. But if you're gonna, like I said earlier, at this point in time, for how difficult Bitcoin mining is now, how competitive it is, I think at this point in time, buying a smaller miner, it doesn't make sense. You might as well put that money into buying Bitcoin, because you're gonna get a lot more Bitcoin versus by the time the next halving comes, versus you trying to, if you were pool mining, that is. If you're solo mining and you're not hitting the block in the next 2 years, I mean, after the next halving, you're gonna be getting less and less Bitcoin. So like I said, we did the math already. There's about 2,500 solo blocks that will realistically be found over the next 114 years combined. Then that necessarily means, you know, a nerd octax will hit a Bitcoin block. No, there's bigger players that fit in that solo block equation as well. Not to like, you know, ruin people's dreams here, but the reality of solo Bitcoin mining, it's become real hard now. Okay, so just understand, you know, that it's not an easy thing to hit. Okay, so I know everyone says, oh, it's better than playing the lottery, like the regular, you know, Lotto Max or whatever it's called game, whatever the hell it's called. People always compare it to that, but 99.97% of people out there are not going to hit a block. Okay, if you think about how many millions, multi-millions of people who are also mining Bitcoin right now and also playing their luck on trying to solo mine, it's I think, to be honest, I truly believe that solo mining Bitcoin is like far too gone now, unless you had petahash. If you had petahashes of hash rate, you can really think of it as a fun gimmick. It's just something that, oh, you want to participate. Okay, at a smaller scale, a hobby level, you're just looking at it as a way to just have fun, participate. You're just think of it as your chances of hitting a block is probably never gonna hit one. You know, keep your expectations low. You spending couple hundred bucks to $700 on something like this, just understand it's gonna be gone. Like, the value that you just paid is gonna be gone. You're not gonna get that money back definitely at a certain time frame. You're definitely not gonna get that back. Just understand that. Yeah. So if you just want to have fun and you want to play your luck and gamble on trying to hit a block, just understand that it's pointless. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Fully electric. It's solo miners should not pool mine. Truly pointless to pool mine. Exactly. It is pointless to pool mine. It is truly pointless. Yes, it's best to solo mine and know you will never hit a block. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think solo mining now has become far too gone. and majority 99.97% of people out there will never hit a block. I kind of just, my outlook on solo mining now, I kind of want to make videos non-stop now, just like, you know, I want people to realize, like, the biggest reason I hear people continuing to do this is, okay, the biggest reason, which I think is kind of the reason's far too gone now. Like there's too many big mining pools now. Like the people are solo mining are the biggest biggest excuse is decentralization. Well, majority of people who are going to be solo mining, I mean, majority of people like go on these solo pools here. Sure, there are some people who make their own umbrella instance, their own, you know, their own node at home. I think that's all great, but I think that's just more money that could be well spent on buying Bitcoin instead. I think at this point in time, I think investing in buying nodes, buying solo miners, it's gonna be better spent on just buying the coin at this point in time. If Bitcoin was, let's say, 200K, even higher, also considering Bitcoin halving in 751 days, I still believe buying Bitcoin would be a better bet. You know, because, okay, you know, I guess I'm not being fair. I'm being a lot more biased. I'm being way more biased because I'm a miner who has infrastructure. I have the power infrastructure to run bigger boy miners. You know, like I can run S21 XPs at home. So I'm a bit more biased in that regard. So I guess I'm kind of saying it versus somebody who is in an apartment, someone who isn't, you know, that doesn't have a basement, that doesn't have 240 volt. I get it. I get that. But just understand that if you're gonna be mining with, you know, these smaller things, that you're not going to make a substantial amount of money. You're not going to make any money at all, actually. You would make a BitX Gamma. If you bought a BitX Gamma, you're trying your luck on hitting a Bitcoin block with these. That's great. These don't take much power, like 25 watts, right? Nothing at all. If you're going to pool mine, you're going to pool mine $14 of Bitcoin in a year. I mean, you can drive for Uber for half an hour and make $14. So, I mean, I know that's not I'm just comparing, you know, money making ways, but I understand the idea of trying to hit a block, and I just feel like it's far too gone. It's definitely far too gone now, and I'm not trying to dissuade anybody. Dissuade anyone to get in on this, because you may hit a block. It could very well happen to you. The chances, though, I think majority of us in this live chat are not going to hit a block. But you know, I just, the amount of money that is in these machines right now. Okay, you guys understand Bitcoin mining, solo miners, the amount of money that, you know, that has been spent on these things, these octaxes, the hundreds of thousands of people who have bought these miners. You know who truly is winning right now is the people who are selling them. Okay, and this is, and I hate to say that, but it's true, right? It's the manufacturers, the people who are selling these. It's the you know, it's the risk and the gamble of trying to hit a block. It's the people who are selling these. And, you know, you could say the same thing as well for the people who are also selling big boy miners, S23, S21 XPs, as S23s, you know, newer. It's all a big, it's all a big system. We all understand, you know, it's just like Apple or AMD and Nvidia, right? We're all buying their GPUs. We're all buying their hardware because they're the ones obviously making money from people buying their hardware. They're all making money from us buying it, right? The similar idea from the resellers who are selling ASIC miners. They're the ones who are truly making, you know, the initial amount of money, right? And we're all playing this game. We're all in this game. It's such a big game of cheaper electric, you know, profiting off, you know, ASIC miners, trying to get the most efficient miners to profit from against your electricity. It's all a huge game. This Bitcoin, this everything that we're all doing right here, right now. It's such a huge economy, right? It's nothing new, right? We you know, people who sell shovels in the gold rush are the ones who win. We all understand this. You know, it's the more I like, I've been in this for so long, you know, I see the people who get burnt out. The people who are the miners who are getting burned are people who have higher electricity costs. So say someone who has 10 cents electric right now, someone bought a S21 XP at home. Let's just say someone bought an S21 XP, right? At home, and they have 10 cents electric. They're currently breaking even at 10 cents right now. So you would say this is a person who got burned in a sense. But who would be mining at home with an S21 XP? You might as well get it hosted at this point in time, aka to you know, Mr. Hawk Crypto Mining's in the live chat, you know, the Terra hosting, or to Mr. CoreX, Mr. Iowa, formerly Iowa Crypto Mining. You know, you know, you might as well just get it hosted. So like, there's plenty of people out there who have bought larger Bitcoin miners, and they're just not. They're just it's at 15 cents. An S21 XP is losing $4 a day, $4.20 a day. You know, there's 0 point on having an S21 XP on at $4 and negative $4 a day at 15 cents electric. Plenty of people have been burned. Plenty of people who have bought, let's say when Bitcoin was 120K, how many people bought an S21 at 8K? I remember S21 XPs were selling for 8 to 10,000. All right, when Bitcoin 5 months ago, here we can actually see the history. We can actually see the price history here. Price history. Okay, sorry, not 8K, but September, October. Okay, no, I remember when it was like 7K. Okay, maybe I was thinking a lot earlier. Yeah, back in May, $6,450 for S21 XP back in May 2025. You know, it's add as a moderator. All right, Hawk. All right, Hawk. You don't deserve mod, Hawk, but I'll give it back to you for now. Core who? Hawk. All right, all right. That deserves that. All right, I removed your moderator. That doesn't deserve moderator. All right, you're gone, Hawk. John English. John, I don't even know what. John, how are you not a mod? John, how are you not a mod? Oh my goodness, man, that's nuts. We got 173 people here, 58 likes. Smash the like, bros. All right, so where was I? Okay, so Bitcoin price drops, miners are gonna turn off. That's like the reality. That's the reality right now. We are at this point, this like inflection point or equilibrium with Bitcoin mining, profitability and whatnot, that we are at the mercy of Bitcoin's price right now. All of us who are mining at scale, all of us who are mining Bitcoin or anything right now, really anything, truly anything, we are at the mercy of Bitcoin's price. So we are going to be seeing, we are already seeing wild swings in Bitcoin's hash rate. And this is why we're also seeing the swings in the difficulty, right? Bitcoin's difficulty. Okay. So it's definitely something that is going to continue to be wild in terms of volatility swings in Bitcoin's hash rate, because we are all at the mercy of Bitcoin's price right now, where the cost to mint at any reasonable electrical rate is completely wiped out, right? And this is why we have been seeing mining farm liquidations now. We are actually seeing, I've been hearing more and more people exiting because it just doesn't make sense. Bigger operations out there, even though they had 4.5 cents, they have other expenses which add up. They could add up everything to 6 or 7 cents, you know, insurance, employees, you know, everything, you know, it adds up, man. It adds up, especially if they're self-mining. And they have inefficient Bitcoin miners. It really depends, right? A lot of them have older inefficient miners where they're just now breaking even though they have cheaper electric, but their expenses, it adds up to them to realistically have an effective electrical rate of 6 to 7 cents, right? So we're at this point in time where we are going to be seeing these swings in hash rate, and we are going to be seeing the swings in Bitcoin difficulty, simply for the fact of Bitcoin's price is where it's at right now. We're just at the local, we're at the mercy of Bitcoin. Other expenses, local bribes. That's great. Hawk shipping everything back. It's over. RedPandaMining canceling contract. Good. Thank God. I'm done. God, I'm free finally. Finally, I'm free. Give me your wrench back, or I'll posting our picture at Disney World together. I knew this would come back to bite me in the. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I would get blackmailed. I knew it. Why didn't I? Why? I knew this would come back to me. Why did I have to take a picture with Hawk? Why did I knew this would happen. I knew it. I knew the blackmail would commence. Oh God! I knew it, man. I knew it. Just brutal. You guys said rabbit streaming in a few minutes. Okay. All right. So let me just finish off my closing here. All right. So I'm just gonna close up here. So, you know, what's the bottom line right now? What is the bottom line for everyone here? I want to know from you guys. Okay. I want to know from you guys in the chat. What is the bottom line for you all in terms of Bitcoin mining? Are you guys, you know, gonna keep continuing on? Your time horizon's 5 to 10 years. Are you long term? Are you short term? Are you trying to earn, you know, money from Bitcoin mining every day and you're selling every day? What is your bottom line now? Now that we are at this point in time where cost to mint for Bitcoin is extremely competitive, and it has become this race right now. Race to the bottom. It's become this race to the bottom for cheaper electric. So I want to know from you guys. Well, how does everyone look at this now? Nicholas Pitts, what's better than S21 XP, Panda? Non-hydro. Nicholas Pitts, well, the S21 XP is like the top 4 in terms of the air-cooled models. Like S21 XP, S21 XP. The next best one is going to be the S23. Okay. It goes, okay. So in terms of the top air-cooled models, we got the S23. We got the A3 Air. We got the A16 XP. And then it's the S21 XP. The S21 XP is top 4 in terms of efficiency, in terms of the top 4 Bitcoin air-cooled Bitcoin miners. Air-cooled, okay? Everything below the S21 XP is inefficient. All right, so this is why I think the S21 XP, I mean, it's still okay. It's still pretty good, even if you have cheaper electric. Let's say you had 5 cents. S21 XP is $4.52 a day still, and fully electric. Holy crap, man! Fully electric. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. We got 173 people in the live chat. 72 likes. Smash the like, bros. Smash the like. Smash that like. And also, good announcement here. Tangem Wallet has has added another 350 wallets because we've already almost sold out of the second batch. So there's now a third batch of the Red Panda Tangem wallet. So if anyone is interested, feel free to use your favorite creator's code. You get another 10% off. My code RPM gets you 10% off, but feel free to use someone else's. There's tons of other people's out there. Go support them. So if you need a Tangem wallet, go check it out. And then what else? Fully Electric, thank you. Who? PDX Glenn, congrats on the membership. X1 Cano Music, congrats. Corruptor X, John Doe, and Augustin D3, congrats on the membership. Congrats, bros. BC, I have 2 already. Nice, BC. Shadow Tech says, gather hardware, make it work, hodl everything. Yeah, Shadow Tech, my best. Okay, so here's my advice. Here is my bottom line advice to everybody is, and this is what I've learned. Okay, this is what I've learned over the past couple of years, over the past, I don't know, 8 years of mining. Hawk, thank you for the 5. Good sir. You didn't need 22 in the chat. If you want to see me and Panda fly the Millennium Falcon in Disney. All right, Hawk. All right, Hawk. Fine. You can get your moderator back. But anything you say that irks me next, I'm gonna remove it. All right. So anything you say, anything that irks me next time, I'm gonna remove your mod status. All right. Okay. Back to my final advice for majority of us who are majority home miners. Okay, my final advice, truly, for everyone here who is mining right now. All right, this is my advice. Okay, mine within your means. All right, I've learned, like, everyone, if you have just a regular 9-to-5 job, okay, you have a bit of expendable income. What I've learned, okay, and I think this is majority of people in the live chat here. Everyone here has their own full-time job. I had a full-time job the first 5-6 years I was crypto mining until I started this YouTube channel. But the first 5-6 years of me crypto mining, I found that everyone who was able to mine within their means, you know, able to sustain and try to hold, you know, the bags, like specifically, let's just say for Bitcoin, right, or Ethereum back then. This could be any other coin that you think is going to go up. Is just mine within your means, and, you know, just slowly accumulate and gather, because time is on your side. Okay, as a smaller miner, especially if you're a smaller scale, even medium scale, larger scale is kind of rough unless you have cheap electric, but I'm just talking home miners right now, is those people who are just doing this to try to make that extra money. I mean, you're not going to make substantial amount until you realize the price, when the Bitcoin's price and everything goes up to the next all-time high. You're not going to realize those profits until we're going to see the next all-time high. So as a small miner, as a small crypto miner, mine within your means. Don't spend, you know, thousands upon thousands of dollars a month on your electricity bill if you can't afford it. You know, you gotta mine at a scale in which you're financially comfortable with, and the amount of money that you're willing to invest in, or maybe pay out of pocket to hodl the crypto, you know, for long term. It's, you know, you just got to make sure you're doing it in a way that you're not substantially losing against how much money you're also earning. Your cash flow, your cash flow is very important, especially if you're doing this as a long-term mining, because you're trying to sustain yourself, because you ultimately believe what you're mining is going to have price appreciation in the future, Bitcoin, for instance. So I just want to, like, make sure everyone who is doing this, don't go out and buy hundreds of these small Bitcoin miners. Don't go buy 100. I see a lot of people buying like like a ton of these smaller Bitcoin miners, and that's not the way to do it. Okay, I don't recommend anyone doing that. Like I explained this in a video before. Like it doesn't make sense to buy like 10 of these octaxes, because you're buying 10 octaxes to get 100 terahash, which, you know, you're spending $8,000 USD on 10 of these, when you can just simply buy a, you know, couple $100 S19J Pro for which gets 104 terahash for a couple $100. So you understand what I'm saying there, right? Your dollar per terahash is just so bad on these little miners. It only make it, if you're doing it as a hobby, just for one, it just makes to buy one or two. That's it. Like, don't go out and buy like, you know, 30 nerd octaxes, you know, nerd Q axes. Like, just have one. All right. The best thing about these is just to have one. Okay. Don't have 20. Don't have 10 of these. Just have one. Okay. You know, so like, I just want people to, you know, smaller scale. If you're smaller scale, my advice for a lot of people is to just mine at a mine within your means. Don't go out and go crazy and you're living paycheck to paycheck in crypto mining, and you can't afford it, you know, the next month. You got other priorities. Okay, crypto mining is not your priority right now. Okay, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, your priority isn't crypto mining. All right, so just, you know, mine within your means. John English check. But if you do, use code RP. Exactly. Exactly. If you decide to buy 10 of these, go visit plebsource.com, use code RPM, you get 10% off. It's so true. It's so true. But no, the majority of people I know who are getting into this, they're only getting a couple. Like, that's fine. Don't go and buy 10 of these. Okay. Don't buy 10 of these. You're better off to buy one S19J. You can buy an inline fan. You can go to Fruition Designs LLC. You can buy the silencer kit instead. You can make it quieter. You know, there are ways to make S19s quieter. Okay. There are ways, like, you can do it. So like, it's just, you just look at the dollar per hash, and it's just like, why would I be spending, you know, tons of money when I can buy one of these instead for a couple $100, you know? So, you know, anyway, that's my advice. I found, if you just grow over time within your means, within your financial situation, and you're able to hodl everything and wait for you can just wait for better times. That's my overarching bottom line best advice I could give right now. Everyone who's doing this, and now anyone who's doing large scale mining, I don't have much advice, because everyone's situation is different in that regard. Your electrical rate, your expenses, licensing, insurance, if you have it, maintenance fees, property taxes, etc. You name it. Everyone's situation is different out there. So yeah, I think yeah, people who are all continuing to Bitcoin mine right now, I mean, we all know that Bitcoin's just going to go higher later in the future. We all know that. That's why we're all still here, right? That's why we're all still here. So, okay. The Tidets. Now that sounds like a plan. Can you post the link for them silencers? Yes, it's right here. And or you can go to my website. I think my website has it. RedPandaMining.com. Right here, you can check here. I got coupons and special links to all the official links to all these. Yeah, Fruition's Designs. Oh, you use code RedPanda, you get 15% off. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so Fruition's Designs, you can get a better deal. You can get a better deal there. All right. Okay, bros. That's it. I think Rabbit's streaming. All right, my friends. I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for the live stream. You guys have a great day. Please, if you're watching this after the fact, let me know your comments down below and all that stuff. So, okay. Bleach, RPM, did you ever find anyone in Canada to fix yours? Bleach 500, no, not yet. I did get a lot of recommendations. I just haven't reached out. I haven't reached out to those people who can fix the Octaxes yet. Okay. All right, my friends. All right, Grey Wolf, thanks for the great stream. RPM, have a great day. Awesome advice. Mine within your means. Thanks, Grey Wolf Mining. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I think mine within your means is like more paramount than ever, especially nowadays. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, mine within your means. We should make that. We should make that into a T-shirt. All right, goodbye. Peace, bros. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.